Okay, cool. I want to start this year with gratitude. I hope you all had a really great celebration and you're happy to start a new year with new possibilities and a lot of blessings in your life. A good beginning for that, from my perspective, is to be grateful. I've been having a great life. But, of course, as every story, my life wasn't as good as it is right now. Same as everyone. We start in a different scenario. And from that scenario, we start moving to a new life. And I had the opportunity of seeing different perspectives in the world. I'm a traveler. I was born in Chile, in Copiapó in the north. And I have a different life that is not that common and represented in the social media and internet, especially in the language of English. So I think this different perspective of life will be very useful for you. What I learned, especially in the last time, is that being aware of the abundance, being aware of the many reasons to feel grateful in life, it's so important. It's a total different shift in your personality. Every time you're focusing on positive aspect of life, we're deciding to become a different person. And the shift we're doing, from my perspective, because I come from a world of lack, from a world of poverty, not because there is poverty, because people believe in that concept of not having and being victim of the reality. So in my progress in life and the way I travel and the different countries I live, I realized that poverty is a perspective. Poverty is a way of looking at the world. Life is always a glass, half empty, half full, and you can have a look to any of the two perspectives and see whatever you want to see. And the thing is that our decisions are empowered by our perspective. So if we feel grateful and thankful for what we have, our new decisions will be the reinforcement of that perspective. But if we feel we're lacking something and we don't have enough of something, we will reinforce that life and that lifestyle. The more we focus on what we already have and what is present, we start realizing how rich and powerful we are, and then with the little things we have, we can turn around our lives. You can change your body completely if you want in your house, practicing yoga or sports or anything. Everybody can. So you can become a writer, for example, from one day to another. You know how to write. The moment you start valuing it and you realize that that is a gift. I remember always about a Chilean writer who learned to read and write when he was very old. He was over 50 years old when he learned how to write. And he didn't have the opportunity because his family was poor before that. And he felt so grateful with the idea of writing his own stories and telling people ideas. He was kind of blind. He was not open to the world without that ability. So when he finally developed the possibility of writing his ideas, he was the most grateful person in the world. And he started writing stories, like small stories, and he entered some competition, and he won some prizes immediately because his vision was so different, so interesting from anything else, and he put so much care and love in his writings that he became a writer. He's called Hernán Rivera Letelier, and I think he's one of the best writers in the Chilean literature. He won several prizes, even like out of the country, and his books have been translated to many languages in the world. And the reason this person was so grateful and happy and joyful because of his new talent, he appreciated it and he developed this ability that everyone could develop. Everybody could write stories about their life. It takes one hand and one pen or a computer, even a phone. Like, there are so many ways of writing nowadays, and technology is making our life so much better and easier. Today, everyone could have like a studio, a music studio in their house, or a video studio in their house, which is pretty much what I'm doing. I'm having my own personal radio show because I enjoy it, and I think I have ideas that could be beneficial for other people. So one day I saw my microphone there and I said, wait a minute, like, I could just talk about the things I love, and I have this resource that I'm not using, and also the inspiration. So I just put all the things together, and here I am, being grateful and using what I can. And the truth is that it makes me so happy, so joyful. It gives me so much freedom. Another thing we take for granted, we take so many things for granted. I mean, this life is such a gift. Every single flower. I think the more aware you are of reality, the more intelligent you are, the more you realize there is so much complexity. I mean, in your body there are trillions of cells working together in collaboration to keep you alive, to keep your heart beating. And this art of communication, we're talking in a language that it's been developed for thousands of years. This is the result of the collective evolution of verbal communication with sounds that comes from our mouth. And I believe we are all enjoying this great gift that our collective organization has been producing. And our mouths are vibrating, and for that, imagine how many muscles for every single sound. It's such a complexity. I mean, just the syntaxes in your brain, just the organization in your brain, all the muscles and neurons and different parts of the body involved in the process of you codifying that information, listening to it, receiving it, without considering the technology that we're using for this communication and all the people that work for us to have this technology today, like internet. Think about all the millions of servers running in this planet, all the people producing the power. There are so many things we take for granted in life. For example, electricity. People don't even know how it works. That's the truth. Like, we don't even know how most of the electricity and the lights we have in the house, they work. So that's what we call the electrician, because especially in developed countries, people have no idea. But in poor countries, because there is a perspective of lack, people will not call an electrician because there's no money for that, so we will do it ourselves. And I know how to do those things, and I know how to fix things, and I know because I come from a world where we look for solution, and that's the great part of having the experience of being in both sides of the coin, and realizing that there is just one big perspective that it's missing, and it's just communication what is needed, and that's what I'm doing. It's easy to be afraid of challenges, to see the world full of problems that we cannot solve, and that is gonna take too long, and that's hard. And I understand, like, a lot of people freak out, with the challenge. It looks so big that it seems like we will never end this mission, and that's a fact. Evolution never ends. It's a mission that is always and constantly happening. So when people tell me, like, I can't feel grateful because of problems, I could say, well, I feel grateful because of problems. Because there is not evolution without challenges. And the reason as a species we have evolved to this point is because of those challenges. Is because we had to solve stuff before. A tree has to face the challenge of every winter. It's the same for us. We always have to face challenges of lack of something, lack of love, of lack of harmonious behavior from other people. The magic happens when we focus on the full part of the class. When we see, instead of a problem, we see an opportunity, we see a solution. We are so busy solving the problem that there is no time for complaining. I understand a lot of people wants to go out of the feeling of guilt using emotion that it's, less painful, which is being angry. So it's easy to want to feel angry about something. And sometimes it's necessary to get rid of those feelings because they are storage in the body. So there is a lot of emotional intelligence related to the act of gratitude. The more you understand how powerful gratitude can be for you, the more you start using it every day, because most of the focus of the negative focus we have in life comes from the idea of lack. And the more we focus on that, it's like a spiral of negativity. There is no way out of it if we keep focusing on the problems. But if we move to the solution, if we start focusing on, alright, this is not what I want, so what is what I want then? A whole new world will start opening. It's like, for example, if I said to you, I don't have a job and I feel sad because of that, and I can't get out of that state. I would say, well, we can keep talking hours and hours about how hard it is to get a job and how hard life is for you and for the people that think like that. Or we can move to the other side of the glass and I start thinking, well, I have a friend who got a job. Maybe we can talk to him. Maybe he has some ideas. And what about creating your own job? What about selling something online? What about watching a documentary about creative people that do new businesses? What about reading about the new businesses ideas, the more successful new business? What about watching a documentary or a YouTube video about the new billionaires? Because there's a whole new generation of young people getting rich with apps and creative solutions online, internet. What about Bitcoin? What about all these things going on that I don't understand? What about just opening my life, opening my head to possibilities, at least to dream about? Because I will feel a little bit better. And that little bit better might be an impulse for me to talk to someone, write something to someone that already worked in my life in the past. So if you don't realize the power you have by just being grateful for little things, I mean, just being grateful for breathing. I understand a lot of people will say, well, breathing, everybody can do it, it's not a big deal. Well, there's people that can't. There's people that have to be connected to an oxygen tank, and I mean, there's so many reasons to be grateful just for having good health, or at least a body that can recover. So I propose to you an exercise. I want you to look at the universe without considering the human species and anything that is human related. Think about planet Earth without humans, before humans. Think about the moon and the sun and the galaxy. Think about the stars you see at night. Think about the ocean and everything that is under the ocean. Think about a simple cell and how complex and beautiful it is. Think about a flower and how complex and beautiful it is. Think about a tree and try to see it in an infinite time lapse of seasons passing through every season, and then the time passing and the tree changing, getting its leaves on, and then fruit, and then autumn changing its color, and then the winter time. Just see that for 100 years. A tree, what a gift. So if we see all this abundance, we start realizing that the only problem that is out there is the idea of lack, is the idea of not being grateful, is the idea of not being respectful with what we have. Because the more we realize how beautiful our life is, how great the gift of being aware and conscious and experience this miracle of looking at the universe from this unique perspective, it is such a gift. A lot of people take for granted this beautiful gift, and it's great for me that I grew up in a place where this easy access to abundance wasn't there present. And I think that could be a great contribution from my perspective to share with you. So the people that are already abundant in material things can rethink about what they have, their families, the support from their governments. You know, in England, for example, where I am now, people have free education and have a great health system. There is a lot of support for people to study. There are lots of things that we don't have in my country. We cannot even dream about to have. And that's something that you guys in UK should be really happy and grateful for. And also in other developed countries, you know. So there are so many reasons to be grateful. There is so much love of so many people. Think about social rights and social movements. So many people gave so much for us to have this freedom we have today. And think about education and all the contributions of scientists, philosophers, artists, music. Think about just music itself. What a gift. The art of playing music is so much fun, but if you're not a musician, the art of listening live music, our technology is so good, we can play any music whenever we want. And that's something that 100 years ago people couldn't do. That's something we take for granted. We take for granted our cars. We can just move around so easily. We can move around the world. We can just fly everywhere we want. I mean, my mom never had that opportunity. I have the opportunity to fly everywhere I want in my life. And my family didn't have that opportunity when they were my age. No one. So I can't not be grateful. I mean, today, thanks to internet, we can learn and teach ourselves absolutely everything. And that's the thing, because I'm from a country, a place of lack. I never had the same access that you have to education. I didn't have these great public libraries. There were some, but for me, internet, it's so good. It's like the greatest resource I ever had. It's just finally access to the truth in so many different levels, like so much education. So I learned to educate myself. I found an audio course of English, and I'm speaking to you in English now. And that's how I started. I started with audio courses. I used every single resource available for me to become the person I wanted to become. And I think that's a perspective of life we have in South America, that we value things and that open us a lot of possibilities. Being grateful, being aware of your talent, your power, the opportunities, the things you can change, the things you can do, makes you excited about life. And that's an important thing. So I want to do the exercise with you of being grateful. Since I'll start just going through different reasons to be grateful, you will probably agree with everything I'm saying. So first thing, I want to be grateful with my body, because it is such an amazing machine. I don't know how it works so well. I wish I could take even more care of it, because there is an infinite amount of joy I get thanks to this device that allows me to experience life. I love sports, just moving my body, just breathing fresh air, swimming in the ocean. There are so many reasons for me to be grateful for this body. Just every single food I eat, I feel so good. I love eating. I love making love and exploring all the different sensations of my body. I'm so grateful because of that. I'm so grateful because of dancing. I can just move with the music. I don't need to be the best dancer in the world. I just want to be the one that has more fun. I am grateful for my eyes because I can see the beauty of nature. I'm grateful for every breath I take, since it's a confirmation that I get to live and continue living. I'm grateful for a new year of opportunities. I'm grateful for all the places I've been. I've been traveling so much, so many countries, so many people. I'm grateful for my family, for the people I love, for their support. Because I understand them, I feel compassion for them. And if they did anything wrong, I feel compassion for them. I understand that they're also evolving. So instead of focusing on whatever it's missing on them, there are always reasons to see and be grateful with our families, our brothers and sisters. I feel grateful for every sunset. I feel grateful for every morning, every sunrise, every bird that sings to me. His joy reminds me of the joy of being alive. I'm grateful for technology. Oh God, I'm so grateful for technology. I enjoy technology so much. I love my headphones, just the music I get. I love my phone. I can do so many things with my phones. I can talk to my friends. I can take photos of the things I love. I can send stuff around, check stuff online, learn things, new words. It's an infinite world of possibilities, and I'm grateful because of that. And I use it wisely, with wisdom. I'm grateful for my microphone, that I can record these audios, that I can play some music and listen to what I'm doing. I'm grateful for my computer. Oh my God, I can't be grateful enough for this computer. I've done so many great things with it. I already paid its value for like 1,000,000 times. I did so much great creative work with this tool, and I will be thankful for all the people that work on this device, all the engineers and technology people that allowed me to have this great piece of artwork. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the people that produce all the services that we are enjoying. The people behind all the services. Imagine like just the delivery services are so great. We can buy things online. They get it in our house. There's people doing that. And they're doing it because of love. I mean, they may want money, but it's just a tool for them to buy the things for their family, to provide food and resources for the people they love. Isn't it beautiful? We can see the problems of our monetary system and see how, negative it could be. Or we can see it in a more grateful way and see the advantage of it, and also that our systems are not perfect and they're evolving and they are getting better and better. There's always an upgrade of everything we have. Isn't it great that we can use credit cards and get money out of an ATM machine? I mean, imagine for a person of 100 years ago talking about this. In the future, people will just go around taking money out of machines. And they will probably not believe in that. They will say, that's ridiculous. But now we have that technology. Think about the people that work in that technology, developing those things, thinking about how to make it safe and how to make it work. Also, sending money online, that is so easy. You can buy stuff with a phone. We don't even need credit cards today. We don't even need much the ATM anymore. We can use our phone to pay in the supermarket. Can you believe that? That's just a gift. We can just send stuff around. We can provide our love instantly to other people and be grateful for the services. We can be grateful for that service. Think about paying stuff online and paying your bills. I mean, I'm from a place where there's so much bureaucracy for everything. I remember going to pay my bills in person. I know that sounds ridiculous for you probably, but I used to go pay my bills in person in Chile. Can you believe it? There was no other way of doing it. Today, of course, it's different. But imagine like spending hours of your life going to pay bills. But the thing is, today we take for granted, it gets deducted in our accounts and that's it, gone. So that bureaucracy-free situation is something to be grateful for. Think about nature. I mean, how we cannot be grateful for nature. So the whole point of being grateful is that we are tuning with that well-being, that natural state of perfection and harmony that is already there. So we can keep complaining and seeing the lack and getting in discord with nature and harmony. Because can you imagine a lion complaining? An animal complaining about anything? I mean, in general, they're just going to look for the best solution and move around solving the problem. They're not going to spend 1 hour of their lives complaining about something. Chasing some other animals to complain. I would like to see that. That would be really funny. I mean, maybe I should make a comedy about it, because can you imagine like a monkey going and catching another monkey and start complaining and saying blah 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 blah? I mean, that's such a, even for a monkey, that's stupid. It's not sensical. It's not harmonious. A monkey will complain if it's getting hurt, but it's not going to complain. It's going to react, and that's a different thing. It's going to react and move away from the situation, and that's it, period. And it's not going to be thinking about it all day. It's not going to be meeting other monkeys and telling you, you know what, I met that monkey that told me that thing. There's not harmony on it. There is not love. There is not compassion. There is no intelligence on it. So the moment we focus on the solution, the moment we start being grateful about stuff, our lives instantly become better. And there is another important thing to know about it. It's that it's been studied that the activity in your brain and your body, so your body is like a machine that works in perfect harmony. And if you have all the components like water, fresh air, and you're eager and happy about life and you're doing the things you love, normally that machine is working perfectly. But what happened, and it's the same for every single animal, animals are doing exactly the same thing, working perfectly, doing the things they need to do, they have all the resources they need, and they have a happy life. End of the story. But humans, we tend to focus on things that are not related to that normal state. And when we do that, we decrease our ability of healing. Our machine starts deteriorating. So what we do, we start experiencing emotions that are not compatible with the machine working perfectly. So we start taking our machine out of tune, and that millions of components that we're working on in perfect harmony, they go out of the harmony and the whole system starts collapsing. So every time we experience an emotion that is negative, we are collapsing our system. Every time we experience anger, frustration, we see the lack in life, and we see all those problems, we are making our machine that works perfectly, we're deteriorating it for no reason, and we are disconnecting from the source of infinite love and harmony. And it's being studied. There's a doctor called Joe Dispenza. He talks about that, and he studied the brain and how everything works. And it's just a fact. You are deciding in the moment you're feeling a negative emotion, you're deciding to... It's like a dog. Have you seen this dog with this electric collar that when they escape, people give them an electroshock? So you're doing pretty much this exactly the same. Every time you experience something you dislike, for example, I don't like this person, you're pressing the bottom of the electroshock in your neck. When you say, I don't like, I'm angry, I am dissatisfied for this, you're pressing the bottom and giving you an electroshock in your neck. That's technically what we're all doing every time we choose a negative emotion. So what I want you to be aware of it. I want you to be aware that you're deteriorating your health. You're deteriorating your life for no reason. Every time we choose to be grateful and to feel good, we are choosing nature. We are choosing harmony. We're choosing life. For example, last night I was talking to someone that said to me that South America is being affected by the imperialism of the US, and it's always, the vision of the US getting over the vision of the South American people. And he was complaining about the American people. And I understand that could be, you could agree or disagree with that sentence, I don't mind. What's the point of this conversation is gratitude. So you could be complaining about what other people are doing that from your perspective is detrimental for other people. But you are doing the same. You're complaining about other people complaining because it's detrimental for other people. So it's just like the same thing. You're just being part of the same. So it's like if we were kids and there were 5 kids playing a game, there are 4 of them playing the game of complaining, and there's one that is just receiving all the complaints. And you could continue that game, or you could say, you know what, might be good for us just to mind our own business. What if you just get some toys and just play your own stuff? And sometimes it's better that we mind our own business instead of seeing and complaining about, because we become part of the disharmony of the planet. We become part of the problem. So how not to become part of the disharmony of the problem and become part of the solution? From my perspective, it's being grateful. It's being in harmony and in connection with the resources we have, with nature. So why to be grateful with nature? Oh my God, I can't think about it. I mean, you are nature. You came from inside another woman. All of us. And it's funny because people say resources are not created in the trees. And that's such a... I mean, think about it for a second. Like, resources are all created in the trees. Life itself, for us, was created on trees. I mean, there is no way we'll be alive today without oxygen. There is no oxygen in this atmosphere that hasn't come from a plant. So you're breathing now millions of years of vegetal activity, of trees and plants creating oxygen and the right atmospheres for you to experience this beautiful life. So how not to be grateful for that nature, because that nature is what is giving us the life in the first place. So then water, what a beautiful, incredible resource. Water, we are water. How good it is to drink some nice water with some lemon on it. And then fruits and vegetables. Fruits, it's like a great gift. They're all there just for us. It's like the infinite abundance of this planet in an object. Think about a watermelon. God, how much better can it get than a watermelon? Think about strawberries, avocados. Think about baked potatoes. Do you know there are more than 200 types of potatoes? There are thousands of types of potatoes. You can bake all of them. Imagine how much time it will take you to try all of them. Think about a river with the grass around it and little rocks, colorful rocks. Think about the ocean and the sand and swimming. And imagine all this water sport we can do, like surfing or scuba diving or just swimming. Such a gift to swim. Think about lakes. Think about when you were a kid and you went to a park or you enjoyed nature with your friends, with your family. Think about those picnics. Think about when you were walking in a forest and you were surrounded with so much love, so much harmony. You know, harmony, and in Spanish we said amor, and they have the same root. Harmony and amor have the same root in terms of language. Harmony, amor, amor, amor. And that means love. For me, harmony means love. So I feel harmony because I'm with you. I feel the harmony of life with you. I feel my harmony of life when I'm with you. Isn't it beautiful? And we see that harmony of life with music. We feel that harmony of life with so many things when we experience this gift that is life. What about being grateful for artists? Honestly, all those artists in your life. You may like film. Think about those films you watch. Think about your favorite film. And not only about the film, think about the 3,000 people in the credits of that film. 3,000 people working for you to make that idea be part of your life. Isn't it beautiful? Think about music industry. Think about your music app and all the artists you can listen into. Think about how simple it is now. Think about the new artists you discovered. What about writing? What about novels and writing? How many fantasies and how many worlds are out there to explore in those minds, those creative minds? Think about poetry and the magic that it generates. Being grateful for our cities, for the technology we have in our cities. It's so simple. When I was living in Costa Rica, I didn't have access to much vegan food. I mean, there were lots of fruits and vegetables that I could find, but everything was way harder than here in England. It's so much easier to find anything here, all the organic products. And life is so much easier in a city because we're all collaborating with each other, so things can be cheaper. And just the online delivery is such a gift, such a relief. And I didn't have that because I was just a traveler. I didn't have a house. And you know, the services we get in our houses are amazing. Just our houses are full of resources that we have. Think about the complexity of a toilet. You know, most of the world, you think that people have access to toilets in the world? It's actually one of the greatest problems in the world, you know. Bill Gates is working and trying to solve the toilet problem in Africa. And it's one of the greatest issues we have. There's so much child mortality and so many problems with that. You know, we have 3 in the house and everything's fine. And we complain about, you know, not having toilet paper one day or not having this or this resource, which is due to our lack of organization, nothing else. So if we are grateful and we focus on the solution, we will just be buying the next rolls and relax about it, or ordering it online. Once a person close to me complains about everybody focusing on their well-being and not helping to the people in poor countries. And in poor countries, people have toilet problems and basic things. And he was especially saying that they're, you know, pregnant women that don't have access to a toilet. And that's a great problem from his perspective. And we having been grateful and happy, you know, I don't know how that could have an impact, a negative impact in their lives. But he thought we don't deserve to feel good because of the problems of the world. But I believe the opposite. I mean, that's another reason to be grateful. And instead of focusing on that, let's focus on the solution. And because of that, I want to mention you a toilet paper company called Who Gives a Crap. and it's quite a funny name. And what they do, they donate toilets in Africa. 50% of their profit it's used for helping people to build toilets. So instead of focusing on the problem that, you know, this person close to me was seeing, what I want is people to be able to focus in the solution. These solutions are available. So he, instead of complaining about something with us and being in this harmony with nature and life, he could be saying, guys, it's so good that you're having a good life and a well-being. And I wouldn't mention this because instead of buying the normal toilet paper, you can buy this solution and help the people in Africa. At the same time, you're, you know, cleaning that important part of your life. So that's what I mean by focusing in the solution. So thank you so much for listening to this podcast, and I want to invite you to visit my website. It's my creative house. Mi casa es tu casa. You're welcome to make yourself at home and have a cup of tea and have a look to. I have my film there because I'm a filmmaker. I have some music I created. There are other podcasts and more content that you can enjoy. So thank you so much for joining me, and have a great life.